Love and blessings, beautiful souls. It's Elizabeth from Fruitful Wombdoula Services, your holistic doula and a women's health coach. Whether you're just starting to notice changes in your cycle or you're deep in the waves of menopause, this one's for you. Today, I want to talk about what menopause really is. Not the doom and gloom version we often hear, but the truth. It's a shift and it's a big change, not an ending. It's a new chapter where your body is asking you to slow down, to reconnect with yourself, and to nourish yourself in deeper ways. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss any of my future videos, and give this one a like if it's helpful. All right, I'd like you to take a deep breath and let's get into it. So part 1, let's redefine menopause. What you know as menopause is very different than what it might actually be, because we're told that menopause is this scary loss. It's a loss of your youth. It's a loss of your fertility and your energy. But that's not what's really happening. Physically, menopause simply means that your ovaries have reached a natural low point in their egg supply. You start life with over 1 million eggs, and by puberty, you have hundreds of thousands. And through your reproductive years, you only release around 450 eggs in total. That's crazy, isn't it? So roughly that would mean you have about 450 periods, but on average. Eventually, when you've got about 1,000 left, your body says, okay, we're closing the shop. We're closing the doors. They're done forever. And the ovaries, they retire. And your menstrual cycles are naturally winding down. And that is what menopause is. But here's where I want you to shift your perspective. Menopause is not a failure or a depletion. It is you reclaiming yourself. You're not drying up. You are distilling, because you're not losing your power. You are redefining it. Menopause is your body saying it's time to direct that creative energy inward. So instead of pouring yourself out for other people's, you can now put more into yourself. So let's talk about part 2, which is puberty in reverse, and why that is an actual very beautiful thing. So I once watched quite a few videos from a OBGYN who described menopause as puberty in reverse. And honestly, I love that. I love that thought on the daily. Because if you think about it, puberty flips your reproductive system on, and menopause flips it off. But both are transitions. They're both messy. They both are overly emotional. And they're also transformative. Puberty transforming you into what we classify as childhood, like having children all their reproductive years, and then out of it. But in puberty, we deal with acne, moods, food cravings, tears, and in menopause, it's the same thing, just a different kind of growth. But here's the difference. Puberty happens to you, and menopause happens for you. This is the moment where you step into your wisdom, the time where your intuition gets louder, your energy gets clearer, and your body demands you to listen. It's time to put yourself first. And so if at the same time that you're having menopause and you have daughters that are maybe going through puberty, that's real soul work, at least in my opinion. 2 cycles of feminine transformation under one roof. I'm going to assume that it's a wild mess, but it's also going to be a deeply sacred thing. So hopefully, if you're going through menopause, I hope it's with someone that is going through puberty at the same time, so you can see the connections and similarities. So part 3, what's really happening and why does holistic support matter? Let's look at what's actually shifting under the surface. So first off, I'm going to try to put a chart here or something, but your estrogen and progesterone levels drop because your ovaries aren't going to be releasing eggs anymore. So this is where you're going to cause those symptoms that we talk about, the hot flashes, the night sweats, the mood swings, and the changes in your sleep. But from a holistic lens, these are not just problems to fix. They are signals that your body is asking for recalibration, that something needs to change, and somewhere you are missing something. And normally it comes down to nutrition. But when your hormones are changing, your body is saying, let's feed me better. Rest. Please get me some sleep. Nourish me. Give me good nourishment from the inside out. So I love to always talk about herbs and herbal remedies. So I want to talk about a little bit, and I'll go deeper into this in other videos, but herbs like red clover, black cohosh, and sage can actually really be big supportive measures during this time frame. You're also going to want warm and rich mineral foods. I'm a very big firm believer in bone broth, and you will hear me say it 100 times over. So yes, bone broth. Get your roasted root vegetables and herbal infusions, and then replenish yourself. I also often say look into womb massage, doing movement, and if you can, do some sort of sisterhood circle, not because they're luxuries, but because they are medicine to be with other women. So now it's time to prepare, like we do for puberty. Here's something that has really stuck with me. We prepare our daughters for puberty by often telling them what happens, but no one is with us preparing us for menopause. Who's telling you about the different things happening during your cycle? Why are both of these doorways of huge transformative periods of our life not being supported? If we can lovingly walk a 12-year-old through her first period, then it's time to lovingly walk ourselves through our last. So menopause really deserves a ceremony, and it deserves community. It's also about knowledge and, I would say, perseverance. Imagine if instead of us dreading this change, that we actually gathered women to celebrate it, to mark this as the time when your inner, let's say, fire, your intuition, and your wisdom that you have collected through all the years are just going to deepen and to share with others. That's what this transition is really about. And this is something for part 5 that I really want you to remember. That if you're watching this and you're starting to notice your changes, so maybe your sleep has moved around and you're not as you were, maybe your cycles are definitely spacing out, you're seeing time lapses in between them, and maybe you're just feeling like some days you could hit someone with a brick and the other days you're like, oh wow, I love you so much. Let's take a deep breath, because this is so life-changing and we're often felt like we're broken and that we're fading and we're losing ourselves. But menopause isn't about an ending. It's about your body finally creating a home to itself. So, not to come off salesy, but I wanted to add it in here that if you do want support walking through this season, that's what I do as a holistic women's health coach. That's what I do as a menopause doula. So if you're approaching menopause and you're in the thick of it or on the other side, whatever it may be, I do help women reconnect with their bodies through those nourishment, through the herbs, and the sacred self-care. So this is your time to rest, to root yourself, ground yourself, and to rise up like a phoenix. So thank you so much for watching another video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and find more tips just like these. Peace out.